We're live and on the air from Salt Lake City, Utah, and the weather is picture perfect for any race, especially when it's Chao racing, as weeknight's action is underway for Chao 2019. So here's the man to help us pull in blue with the spring fever, your host, Brandon Jennings! Welcome, fans of Salt Lake City, to our races. Hope you make us a good one. And hello to your fans home. Welcome to Week 9's action here on Chao Racing 2019. And by the way, if you just watched the Masters last weekend, it was a dandy because Tiger Woods had just made a comeback and won it all in the Masters in Augusta, Georgia. That was very interesting being reported for all his work. And here on Chao Racing this week, we promise we'll have a special guest from one of our past champions from the past. But right now, let's get started with race number 1. Carl, who do we have for our first race of the night? First up for week 9, we have Alvin Jr., Ryan Christian, Jimmy Wales, and Owen Williams from the Williams Brothers. Our races will be held like our race on the Emerald course. And let's take a look at the line for this race. The players that just got the warm-ups finished, and now they're ready to race. Who is going to be the first to draw the W on the scorecard for week 9 this week? We're about to find out right now. Let's have a Chao race! Okay, the 4 Chao to start off the week are making their way through the rainbow path. And they're going to make their way towards the palm trees. That's so cute to bring down that coconut-shaped fruit. And now they're going to eat the fruit. And Ryan Christian is going to have coming out of the lead. All 4 Chao are off and running, with Ryan Christian coming in the lead at the moment. And where will be Chao be heading? It looks like Owen Williams is going to be heading for the 1. The other 3 decided to take the bridges. As the first superstar against Speedbus this week is the son of the license to drive, Alvin Jr., who is battling with Ryan Christian for the lead over at the bridges. And right now, number 2, who desperately needs help, is taking a while as well. He doesn't want to be left behind in the competition. And Ryan Christian, who is battling with Alvin Jr., takes Speedbus number 2 in his face. It's Owen Williams up in the very front, who has a commanding lead. Ryan Christian trying his best to catch up to Owen Williams up in the front. And now Jimmy Wales will get a speed bus, sitting in 4th place behind Alvin Jr. And as we approach the 1 minute mark, number 7 is getting left behind on the competition all the way in the back. He might need some help from the crowd pretty soon. But it's number 1 who gets the next commands. Yes, and look at that. He now takes control of the lead on the 4th of the Chao for the moment. Meanwhile, Owen Williams is trying his best to defend the lead over Ryan Christian and Alvin Jr. Jimmy Wales also not too far behind in the competition. And who got the next command spears? It's number 8. That's who. He is currently battling with number 7 for Deal Life all the way in the back. The 2 Chao are going to make their way towards the wall in the back. And number 8 will get back-to-back spears. And back with fun, it looks like Alvin Jr. and Jimmy Wales are going to mess. That means Ryan Christian only has to deal with Owen Williams up in the home stretch. We'll soon know who prevails at the home stretch. Back to number 8, and he was scoring rest for a while, so now he still has a lot of catching up to do. That's 3 in a row for number 8, and Owen Williams has made the pass for Ryan Christian, and he is our winner. As the next appearance was made by number 2, and look at that. He prevents number 7 from making the pass with authority. He has command lead on the 4th of the Chao as the race comes to a close. Number 1 can't just forget about this race. So Owen Williams now has 6 wins with a victory tonight. That's right. We'll be right back with more exciting action with a special guest that you're going to like and enjoy from the past. Do not go away. And look what we have, fans, for our special guest this month. It's Damon Hart, the 1987 World Champion of Chao Racing. winning 26 of his 27 races during the 86-87 season when it was the first show on videotape. How does it feel, Demon Heart? You've done pretty well that year. It's great to be in the audience this month. Hope you enjoy the races along with your family and friends, wherever you are. Alright, Paul, let's simple it up. Race number 2. Alright, Brandon, and this one is an interesting one because race number 2 will feature Harold Miller, Andrew Wilson, Ralph Dennis, and Marvin Sanderson as they still looking for the first win of the season. Yes, these 4 superstars went 0-8 in the first 8 races of the 2019 season, and it was a heartbreaking loss, some painful as well. But one of them will definitely get a win this time around. Let's find out who deserves the long-awaited first win of the 2019 season this week. Everyone is on the clock, and please start the race. Alright, so Howard, Andrew, Ralph, and Marvin are trying desperately to get wins on the board so that they can at least qualify for next season's 2020 roster, or so often. But anyway, the 4 Chao are checking the Padres to bring down that coconut-shaped fruit, and now they're going to eat the fruit. And it looks like Marvin Sanderson is going to have come in on the lead with Harold Miller right behind him, and number 2. Marvin and Harold are going to be off and running, and it looks like Harold Miller, one half of the Miller traders, will win the opening toss. Number 2 is going to be flying towards the water, and guess who's dancing to the beat all the way in the back? It's number 7, that's who. As Beaver's number 2 in this race, was made by number 8, who also really needs help over at the pitches. He is going battling with number 1. And guess who else that took water is Ralph Dennis and Andrew Wilson. And look at that. Number 2 is going to rest. That means Ralph and Andrew will have the privilege to battle for the lead up in the front. As the next Beaver swing made by Marvin Sanderson, who is battling with Harold Miller and number 8 for D-Life. Number 1 is way behind. But as we pass the 1 minute mark, it's number 7, who is the real deal, who is way behind on the competition. But let's head back to Marvin Sanderson. Now he's battling with number 2 for 3rd place in the Cowboy. Ralph Dennis currently has the lead with Andrew Wilson right on his tail in 2nd place. They are making their way towards the other side of the checkered path, and that's when they hit the wall. As Harold Miller will get a number 10. That makes his 2nd speed buzz of the race, but he is way behind in the competition after having the upper hand early on. Right now, though, it is number 7, who is the real deal, who is still way behind the competition. I think he needs a speed buzz, by the way, but that next speed buzz was made by Marvin Sanderson. That makes his 1st speed buzz of the race. And right now, Ralph and Andrew are making their way towards the top of the wall. And Andrew is with us. That means Ralph Dennis will have full control on the lead. But here comes Andrew Wilson with the next command speeders, trying to get the lead back from Ralph Dennis. And right now, number 7 is busy climbing the wall. He is way behind the competition. Harold Miller is left behind as well. And right now, number 7 is fighting for the life all the way back. And he's going to be all over last place. As Marvin Sanderson trying to make one last effort with his 4th speed buzz of the race, but it looks like Andrew Wilson is going to make the pass from him and Ralph Dennis for the victory. Andrew Wilson's going to get his first win of the season. As number 7 finally gets some help with the next command speeders, Andrew Wilson holds off Marvin Sanderson to win this one. He finally gets a win after 9 weeks. And we have just enough time for one more speed buzz on this base, and it will be made by number 1. He is going to lead number 7 in the dust. So Andrew Wilson gets his first win on the season. That's right, and I'm pretty sure David Hahn is applauding him as well. Back in the bed, do not go away. Alright, welcome back to Chao Racing. Tell us who we have next, Paul. Race number 3 will feature Joshua Samoa battling against Vince Dayson, the Steel Curtain Era Miller, and Thomas Linklater. The players are lined up and ready to go. Everyone is on the clock. And let's mark this place! Here we go. 4 Chao in this next race are off and running, busting down the line. And it looks like number 7 is going to rest. And number 8 is going to join him for dear life. So number 7 and number 8 will be left behind in the crowd for a while. Right now the 4 superstars up in the front are going to eat the coconuts fruits. And the steel curtain Aaron Miller is going to have command on the lead. Following in a close second by Thomas Linklater, battling with number 1 and Vince Mason. And it looks like Aaron Miller is going to be heading for the water. As the first superstar to get speed bus is number 2, who's also heading for the water to come win. Right now number 7 is battling for dear life, along with number 8 and Joshua Samoa up over at the bridges. As Speedbus number 2 in this race will be made by Joshua Samoa. He was the 2016 Rising Stars champion, but I highly doubt he'll get any wins for the entire season this year. Right now the steel curtain Aaron Miller has a commanding lead, and it looks like Vince Mason is going to rest. As number 7, who desperately needs to catch up every now and then, takes the next race yes, as we pass the 1 minute mark in this race. Thomas Linklater and Joshua Samoa better hurry up if they want to catch up to Aaron Miller in a hurry. And Thomas Linklater is going to rest. That means he'll drop down to last place over the competition. As the next speed bus will be made by Joshua Samoa. That makes his second speed bus of the race. Meanwhile, Aaron Miller, the steel curtain himself from Pittsburgh, has a commanding lead over the competition right now, heading into the wall. And he's going to rest. As Thomas Linklater, who's fighting for dear life after he took a nap, takes the next command speed bus. And with Aaron Miller's rest, Joshua Samoa now has command on the lead. Vince Mason will have to push about with him for second place, as number 8 takes the next BS. Now he really needs help, and Joshua Samoa is going to rest. So Aaron Miller will have command on the lead for the second time in this race. Vince Mason will move up to second place at the current moment. And who will get the next one? It's number 2, who leads over the 4-7 Chao, making his second speed bus of the race. By now, Aaron Miller has to push to defend the lead for the second time in this race, and I do believe he is going to hold on to the competition this time, no doubt about it. And here comes Thomas Linklater with another speed bus, but that will only be enough for second place. He will not be able to make the pass from Aaron Miller. Aaron Miller is going to make the save up in the front. The steel curtain Aaron Miller holds on Thomas Linklater and Vince Mason to win this one. As last speed bus on this race will be made by number 7. So steel curtain Aaron Miller made the save with a victory. That's why he prevented Thomas Linklater's pass, and it's one side coming up after we hear word from this. Alright, time for the next race, Paul. That's right, race number 4 will feature Iron's Fabulous Warrior, Stealing Man, one half of the Logan Irish. He'll be taking on Zach Orson, the computer wizard Peter Foles, and Owen Chester. These 4 Chao all pumped up and ready to go, so let's get to it. Please start the race. And this is another interesting race, because these 4 Chao, after 8 weeks, have only 1 win in their collection so far for the season. So the winner will get the long way second win of the season. Who is going to get that chance? We'll find out soon enough. And right now the 4 Chao are going to eat the fruit. And Owen Justin is going to have the upper hand of the 4 superstars. The other 3 Chao are dancing to the beat back in the palm trees. And it looks like Owen Justin is going to be heading for the water. As the first superstar to get beat is the computer wizard Peter Foles. He's also heading for the water, along with Zach Orson. And number 1 is Grover. So he will drop down to last place, and so is number 8. Number 1 is going to be heading for the water, trying to maintain some ground in the early line. As speed bus number 2 in this race will be made by number 7. That will make the pass from number 2 for the lead. I do believe he will now lead over the 4-7 Chao with that speed bus. Yep. Zach, Peter Foles, and Steve Wingman are battling for second place in the Cup 1. Owen Chesson trying to defend the lead heading into the Sapphire portion of the Young course as we head back into number 7. And now he leads over the 4th Chao easily as we pass the 1 minute mark. Right now, guess who's getting left behind in the competition all the way back? It's number 8, Atsu. Number 1 seems like he also really needs help. Which Roman will get that chance to stay alive in the game? It's number 1. So he will be pouring number 8 in the dust. Meanwhile, Owen Chesson is trying his best to defend the lead over Peter Foles. Peter is doing his best to make a valley in the Cup 1. Can Owen Chesson hold on for a victory, or will Peter Foles make a pass for a statement? We'll find out soon enough. Next BS belongs to number 8, who desperately needs to catch up every now and then, and Steve Wingman is scoreless. That means he'll drop down a couple of places due to that nap. Now he has a lot of catching up to do. As number 8, who's still fighting for dear life, takes back to Max BS, but he's still in last place just behind number 1. And back in my fun, Owen Chesson now has a commanding lead over Peter Foles at Cup 1, as Steve Wingman will get number 10. That makes his second speed bust of the race. And right now, Owen Chesson trying to wrap things up as they make their way towards finish line. I do believe Owen Chesson is going to get the job done tonight. Yep. As Peter Foles takes his second speed bust of the race, no one is going to catch up to Owen Chesson in time. And there you have it. Owen Chesson is the winner of this race, as number 8 will close out the speed bust for the race, as he continues to fight for dear life over number 1. So, Owen Chesson now has 2 wins up on his lead. That's right, I know he still has a ways to go, but I'm pretty sure he can do it. We'll find soon enough exactly if he can do it or not. Back in a bit, do not go away. And now, Paul, the defending champion, is making his way towards the starting gate. Yes, Raymond Hill is up next for race number 5, currently sitting with a 7-1 record heading into this week's race. Tonight he'll be taking on the next generation superstar Antonio Bennett, who is one half of the Classic Go-Getter squad, along with Corey Sanchester and Buster the Jabo. We just seen the lineup for the inside, now we look at the outside. Will Raymond Hill get another easy victory? There's only one way to find out. Let's have a Chao race! Okay, here comes the next 4 superstars pressing down the line. And look at this, Raymond Hill is scoreless, along with a couple others to Chao. That means he and number 7 and 8, to be exact, will be left behind in the crowd for a while. The other 3 Chao and the other 2 silver Chao are chicken boundaries, and now they're going to eat the fruit. And there goes Corey Sanchester, and number 1 is scoreless. Corey Sanchester currently leads over Buster and Antonio, and Corey Sanchester is scoreless. As the champ, Raymond Hill wins the only toss. He is heading for the water along with Buster the Jabo. He is going to lead the competition after taking a nap early on in the race. So now he will have command of the lead over Buster the Jabo. As speed bust number 2 in this race will be made by the next generation superstar himself, Antonio Bennett from the Classic Go-Getters. And right now, number 2 is getting left behind in the competition. He is in last place. He might need some help every now and then. But the next speed bust is going to be made by number 8. Right now, it is Raymond Hill, the defending champion of Chao Racing 2019, who's leading over Buster the Jabo, as we have passed the 1 minute mark in this race. And who will get the next command speed bust? It's going to be number 2 who gets it. He gets some help, now trying to battle with number 7 for survival. Meanwhile, Antonio Bennett is struggling to battle with number 1 for third place at the current point. Corey Sanchez is also trying to keep up with the pace in the early one, and down goes number 1 for the count. Antonio and Corey trying their best to catch up with the others in a hurry, and Buster the Jabo will get the next command speed bust. Now he's catching up to Raymond Hill again, and right now number 8 is left behind once again. He's going to need a couple more speed busts if he wants to get back in this one, and this is one of them. That makes his second speed bust for the race. And back with fun. Buster Jabo is scored rest, which means Raymond Hill will have full control of this match heading into the home stretch. I do believe he is going to wrap up the win with a style. Next BS belongs to number 7, and he can't forget about going to rest. He wakes up for us now and he moves up a couple places. Raymond Hill is almost in the finish line, and he's going to prove to 8-1 this week. As number 7 takes back BS, now we went up for the champ, Raymond Hill, with a little bit of room over Buster Jabo, who will come in second place. And number 8 is sitting in last place with us. Well, he's going to get another speed bus, making his first speed bus, but he's still in last place behind the pack. And this race is over. Raymond Hill gets another easy victory. That's right, the fans approve Raymond Hill's strategy, and we'll have another exciting race after we hear a word from this. And we'll be halfway through week 9 after race number 6. That's right, and it will feature Dave Miller, Alex Moccasin, Casey Richardson, and Eddie Williams. Yup, Casey Richardson surely had to settle for a loss after winning 7 straight races. But this race doesn't matter if he wins or loses, he's always a winner. So let's see if he can make this a better race this week. Everyone is on the clock, go on to the next 4 superstars. And let's rock this place! And Eddie Williams is scoreless. That means Dave, Alex, and KC will have the opening edge. And by the way, KC stands for Keith Caleb, by the way, looks like, so remember that. And something else to remember, anything can happen in the Chao universe. That's the motto we use each and every race and every season of our series. Right now, Casey Richardson is going to have come in on the lead. That's going to be followed by Dave Miller, 1/2 of the Miller Traders in second place. And as Casey heads for the water, the first superstar to get speed bus is number 1. And numbers 2 and 7 are battling for D-Life all the way back. Number 8 is going to, so he will join numbers 2 and 7 for D-Life. As speed bus number 2 in this race will be made by our leader, Casey Richardson. Keith Caleb Richardson, as a matter of fact, by way of his real name, fans. And right now, Alex Moccasin and Eddie Williams are battling for 6th place over at the Bridges, and Alex Moccasin is scoreless. That means he'll drop down to last place over the competition, as the next BS will be made by number 1, battling with number 8 for the lead on the 4th switch out. We are approaching the 1-minute mark of this race. Dave Miller currently dominating in an easy second place, but it's Casey Richardson who has full control of this match up in the very front. And who will get the next command speed bus? We're about to find out right now. It's Eddie Williams who will get the next command speed bus. Trying desperately to stay alive in the game. Right now, number 2 is getting left behind. But Alex Moccasin is the real deal, who is way behind in the competition in the back. But back to Eddie Williams we go. Now he gains a little bit of ground, and the only one with back-to-back speeders. Meanwhile, Casey Richardson is climbing up the wall, reaching the top of the wall with a huge lead still over Dave Miller. He has made it to the top of the wall, and he's going west as Alex Moccasin, who is fighting for D-Life all the way in the back, takes the next command speeders. Well, Casey Richardson is still going to have a big lead over Dave Miller to come one. He is going to win this one for sure. I don't think Dave Miller will be able to make a miracle comeback in a hurry. Back to Alex Moccasin. That makes 2 in a row by 2 in a row for Eddie Williams and Alex Moccasin respectively. And right now, Casey is heading for the home stretch. With no force to worry about in the come one. As number 2 wakes up the snap with the next class because Casey Richardson is going to prove to 8-1 this week. Casey Richardson, after last week's tough loss, beats off Dave Miller to win this week's race. As Eddie Williams will get another turn, that makes his first speed bus in the race. Poor number 2 and poor number 7 are fighting for D-Life. And we have just enough time for one more speed bus up this race. And it will be made by Alex Moccasin, making his first speed bus in the race. But our big winner is Casey Richardson. That's right, he overcame his tough loss, and he's now at 8-1. Coming up, we'll present the second half of Week 9's action, but first, let's hear a word from this. Alright, it's been an exciting first half for Salt Lake City, Utah so far this week. But let's keep it up with the second half of Week 9. That's right, to start the second half, we have Luke Green, Rusty Instant Replay Jackington from the Golden's 2.0 squad, Connor John Howard, and Charlie Flayton. Connor did a very good job winning last week's race, and so did Luke Green. Which one of them will keep up with the hot streak this week? There's only one way to find out. Best of luck to the next 4 superstars on the quest for victory. Everyone's on the clock, and let's rock this place! Alright, who will be the fortunate one this race? Who will have the lucky dip for race number 7 as we continue Week 9 here in Salt Lake City, Utah? We'll find out soon enough as the 4 Chao shake the palm trees to bring down that coconut shaped fruit. And now they're going to eat the fruit. And there goes Colin John Howard busting down the line. Charlie Franklin will have the privilege to battle with number 8 for second place and number 1. And Colin John Howard is flying and he is going to take a shortcut, folks. As number 7 wins the Owen Talk for his face and number 8 is Glass. Colin John Howard now extends his lead thanks to a shortcut. Right now, Luke Green and Rusty Jackington are heading for the water, trying to maintain the ground for second place in the Camort. And who will have the privilege to get speed bus number 2 in this race? It's going to be number 2, who is battling with numbers 1 and 8 over at the bridges. They're trying their best to stay alive in the game. And right now, they are going to join number 7 for D-Life all the way in the back. As the next BS we made by Rusty Instant Replay Jackington, 1 half of the Go-Go's 2.0 squad. We are approaching the 1 minute mark, and Connor John Howard is gone, ladies and gentlemen. He's already hitting the wall, and he's climbing up with all his authority. Let's find out who will get the next command BS, and that next BS we made by number 2. That makes his second speed bus of the race. Meanwhile, Luke Green has a dominating second place over Rusty Jackington, but I do believe Connor John Howard is going to win this one for sure. He is going to get an easy victory tonight. Next BS belongs to number 8. He gets a little bit of help that time. And guess who's spotting for D-Life all the way in the back? It's number 1 and 2, and down goes number 2 for the count. They're going to be visiting climbing over the wall for Charlie Flayton. So it's Luke Green who will get another turn. That makes his second speed bus of the race. And right now, Colin John Howard has made it to the finish line. As Charlie Flayton takes the next speed bus, Colin John Howard tallies up another easy victory. He now jumps above the 500 mark with 5 wins of his 9 races so far. And who will have next speed bus? It is going to be number 7 who gets it. That makes his second speed bus of the race. And right now, number 2 is getting left behind in the competition. Number 7 went a little too far that time. As the last speed bus of this race will be made by number 8, making the pass for number 1 for the lead over the 4 Chao. And that will do it. Colin John Howard tallies up another easy victory. Yep, he's now above the 500 mark for this week. And we'll have another exciting race for you fans after we present a word from this sponsor. And now let's simple it up race number 8 with another important race for those superstars who desperate to get wins on the board. That's right, race number 8 will feature Shane Flettingham, who is the 2017 Mighty Stars champion. He'll be taking on Chris Schneider from the Classic Go-Getters, Ethan Kingsley, who is the Hard Chain Master, and JJ Nehemiah. They only have 1 win so far in their 8 races so far this season. But one of them will definitely get a win for sure this time. Who deserves the win this week? We're about to find out right now. And alright, next 4 superstars are on their way towards the palm trees. First they blaze for the rainbow path, and then they'll make their way towards the palm trees. And that will be their cue to bring down their coconut from the top and drop it to the ground. And here comes the coconut shaped fruit dropping down the ground as the fans are on their feet in a standing ovation. And it looks like Ethan Kingsley and Chris Schneider are going to be bowing for the lead up in the front. And it looks like they're both heading for the water, trying to maintain the ground on the early morning, as Shea Flintingham, the 2017 Rising Stars champion, wins the only toss for this race. A couple of Super Chao are going to rest, including number 8, who is way behind in the competition all the way in the back. Number 8 is expected to take the water, and who will have the right to earn speed race number 2 is going to be number 2. And right now, Shea Flintingham is going to rest. Right now, up in the front, Chris Schneider is doing his best to battle with JJ Nehemiah, F1 Kingsley not too far behind in 3rd place in the current moment. Let's find out who will get the next command spears, and that next spears we made by number 7. That's number 2 positive for point. Right now, number 8 is getting left behind in the crowd. But oh dear, guess who's way behind in the competition? All in last place as we pass the 1 minute mark. Number 1's getting left behind in the competition. Right now, it is Shea Flintingham who will get his second speed bus for the race, trying to catch up a little bit. Meanwhile, F1 Kingsley and JJ Nehemiah are starting to feel the groove. Chris Schneider, you better watch out. F1 and JJ are right on your tail. What's gonna happen? We'll find out soon enough. Next speed belongs to number 8, who is battling with number 2 for 6th place. And poor number 1 is still singing the last place blues. It should be time that he will get a couple of speeders, and this is one of them, but I think that's all he's going to get for the entire race. And back with fun, Hard Master F1 Kingsley is battling with Chris Schneider for the 2nd time this race, and JJ Nehemiah is quarterback, so he'll be left behind in the competition from these two. And Shea Flintingham will get another turn. That makes his better speed bus of the race. And oh boy, we might see an incredible cross finish in many years. Yep, all 4 Chao closing in on each other as they make their way towards the home stretch. Who's gonna get there first? As number 7 takes the next speed bus, it looks like the Hard Master will get there first. F1 Kingsley is our winner. And that was an incredible finish we had in several years. That's right, what a deal by F1 Kingsley and all those 4 players as well. Back in a bit, do not go away. Okay folks, we still need to get through a couple more races before our main event here in Salt Lake City. So Paul, let's hear about race number 9. I will give it my best credit. For race number 9, we have Donald Lennings, Rusty Williamson, OJ Upton, and Larry Monroe. Anyway, we should have the golden child for this race because Donald Lennings is extremely powerful and extremely good. And there they are in the stands. Donald Lennings is currently 7-1 heading into this week's race. He did a very good job last week. Let's see if he can do it again this week. Everyone's on the clock, and please start the race. And Donald Lennings is giving the smiles on his fans as he makes his way through the rainbow path. He wants to get a chance for his 2nd title in 3 seasons. He done it in the 2017-2018 season. And right now he ate the food and he's off and running. Donald Lennings making his way towards the bridges. And he is going to be flying over the top of the hill, as a matter of fact. And he prevails over the top of the hill. He's quickly making it to the southbound portion of the upper course now, as OJ Upton wins the wing toss for this race. And number 2 is getting left behind over at the bridges. And he is taking a rest. So now he has a lot of catching up to do in the only one. Now he's all alone in last place to that nap. As number 7, who also trying to stay alive in the game, takes speed bus number 2 in this race. Right now, OJ Upton, or OJ Upton for short, has a commanding 2nd place. But it's Donald Lennings, the 2018 World Champion, who's on fire heading into the wall. And who will get the next command speeders is the policeman himself, Rusty Williamson. But he and number 2 are both getting left behind in the crowd. Heading into 110 at the current, they're trying to keep up with the pace in on ahead of the pack. But Rusty Williamson will get back to the next speeders, and back up in front, Donald Lennings is making his way past the waterfall, and he's safely in the lead heading into the home stretch. He is going to get another easy victory with all his might from his fans. Next PS belongs to Larry Monroe, and pool number 2 is still way behind in the competition as he heads the wall. Let's find out who will get the next command. It is going to be number 8 who got the next command, Speedbus. He dominates over the foregoing Chao, as Donald Winnings dominates over Ocean Upton to win another 5 better. He improves to 8-1 with authority. His fans are surely happy so far this season. As number 2, who desperately needs to catch up every now and then, takes the next PS, and look at that. He should move up 2 or 3 places that time. Number 8 will take 2nd, and RJ Upton will take 3rd. And we have just enough time for one more speed bus on this race, and it will be made by the policeman Musty Williamson, as he is just finishing up this race. Alright, so Donald Redding gets another job well done easily. That's right, he's still in the freeway time for the best record. And we'll have another exciting race after this, so stay tuned for more here on Chao Racing. Alright, Paul, now it's time for race number 10. You said it, Brennan. Let me take some time to install the graphics of the camera, and we can tell you right now for race number 10 we have Biggie Nelson from the Go Getters 2.0 squad taking on Norman Feiner, Danny Frazier, and the great Louis Charleston. The players will line up and ready to go. Everyone is on the clock, and please start the race. Alright. The graphics are up and running, and they're off and running. Let's find out who will earn a W, and find out who will be one step closer towards all the glory, towards a world championship title this season. And right now, Mickey Nelson pauses for a moment, trying to figure out the strategy in the cutting point. The other 3 giant eat the fruit, and it's Louis Charleston and Norman Feiner who are going to be battling for the lead up in the front. And it looks like Louis is going to be heading for the water. As the first superstar to get speed bus is number 2. And he will pass number 1 who is sleeping at the cutting point. And right now number 8 is getting left behind on the competition all the way in the back of the pack. And he taunts for one as speed bus number 2 in his race will be made by Norman Feiner, who is currently battling with Danny Frazier for 3rd place. Right now, Louis Charleston trying to defend the lead up in the very front, ahead of Ricky Nelson from the Go Getters 2.0 squad. They are making their way towards the Sapphire portion of the game, of course, as the next PS will be made by number 8, who desperately needs to catch up every now and then. Norman Feiner better hurry up, and he scored a mess. So he will drop down to 4th place. Danny Frazier will move up to 3rd place in the cowboy. As number 2, while in the next command PS, he decided to keep on going. And right now, guess who's battling for July far away in the back? It's number 1 battling with number 8. Number 1 and number 8 are getting left behind in the crowd. I think one of them should get a speed run, so he wants to get back in this one for sure. But who really got the next command PS? It's Danny Frazier, that's who. He is currently catching up to Ricky Nelson for 2nd place, along with the great Louis Charleston. And Louis Charleston is quarterback. And so is Ricky Nelson. That means Danny Frazier will have the privilege to have command of the lead up in the front. Now he will have the privilege to defend the lead over Louis Charleston. Next PS belongs to number 1, who is battling with number 8 for T-Life all the way in the back. Norman Feiner better hurry up if he wants to catch up with the others in a hurry. He is trying his best to stay alive in the game, as he will have the next command PS, but he is expected to wind up in 4th place. Well, Danny Frazier is going to hold on for the victory. Louis Charleston will be able to find a hole to make the pass from Danny Frazier in time. And there you have it. Danny Frazier is our winner, as Number 2 will get another turn, making his first P-Buzz on the race, and number 1 can just forget about his race along with number 8. So Danny Frazier makes a save from Lewis Johnston. That's right, and he deserves to win. Coming up, we'll have more exciting action for you, but first have a look at this. Well, Paul, it is almost main event time here in Salt Lake City, Utah. But before we get to our main event, we have one more race to get through for the regular races. So Paul, tell us all about race number 11. Alright, for race number 11, to proceed weeknight's main event here in Salt Lake City, we have Glenn Murray, Chris Van Arkels, ChaoEmperor, and Eric Crosby, the ChaoEmperor. And coming up in the main event in the next segment, we'll soon know if Garrett Dayton will earn a second Superstar Week and another out in the Gangnam Style. Look forward to this week's main event. So without further ado, good luck to these superstars in this race, and please start the race! Here we go. The 4 Chao in race number 11 are underway, making their way towards the palm trees. And they will be the cue to bring down that coconut-shaped fruit from the ground. And it looks like number 7 is Glores just before he hit the palm trees. Right now the 4 superstars are chicken palm trees, and now they're going to eat the fruit. And it looks like Glenn Murray and Eric Crosby are going to be battling for the lead. Chris Van Arkels and ChaoEmperor are dancing to the beat. And it looks like Glenn and Eric are both heading for the water. As the first superstar to get speed best is ChaoEmperor, last year's runner-up. He's also heading for the water at the current moment. And by now, number 7 is fighting for D-Life all the way in the back. And number 8 is Glores. So he will drop down to last place as number 1 takes speed best number 2 in this race. Eric Crosby going has a little bit of room ahead of Glenn Murray up in the front. ChaoEmperor making his way towards the flags. As number 8, who desperately needs to catch up every now and then, takes the next command, yes. And we are at the 1 minute mark of this race, just approaching the 1 minute mark. Glenn Murray better hurry up if he wants to catch up to Eric Crosby in a hurry. Who got the next speeders? It's Chris Van Arkels. That's who. Going bowing with number 2 and ChaoEmperor for third place. Take a look at poor number 7 and poor number 8. They're bowing for D-Life all the way back. And number 1, Thomas Moore. So he will join number 7 and 8 for D-Life as he will have the next command speeders trying to hold out number 7 and 8 for D-Life. Meanwhile, Eric Crosby still trying to defend the lead over the rest of the pack. And down goes Chris Van Arkels. That's going to cause serious damage. Will Eric Crosby hold on for the win? We'll soon know. Next PS belongs to number 7, who is currently bowing with number 1 for 6th place at the current moment. He is trying to leave number 8 in the dust. The Silver Chao are climbing up the wall when getting left behind in the competition and making their way towards the top of the wall. And as one of the Silver Chao go to rest, number 7 gets back to XPS and he's going to rest. And right now Eric Crosby is at the home stretch trying to wrap things up over Glenn Murray and the rest of the pack. And it looks like he is going to get the job done this week. The ChaoEmperor is going to get the victory this week. As Glenn Murray takes the next few months, towering one up for Eric Crosby, the ChaoEmperor Chao Racing 2019. He did the job done this week. As the last speeders on this race will be made by number 2. He will lead us to the main event in the next segment. Alright, so Eric Crosby won this race. That's right. We'll soon know who will win the main event in the next race. That will happen right after these messages. Stay tuned. Alright, now it's time to present our exciting main event for our fans in the Salt Lake City area. Paul, I know you're anxious to get this main event on the way, so tell us all about this week's participants. I will. This week, we have our returning champion, the Gangnam Style Master Garrett Dayton. He'll be taking on Trevor Hoffa, Michael Clayton, and Ramron Chante. Garrett Dayton was satisfied with winning last week's main event over Casey Richardson. Who is going to prevail in this week's main event? We're about to find out right now. Let's have a Chao race! And this week's main event is presented by McDonald's. Whether selling for a Big Mac, Chicken McNuggets, a big quarter pounder, or just a handful of America's favorite fries, you're always loving it when each and every visit to your local McDonald's restaurants. Right now on the 4th Chao, I'm going to eat the fruit. And Garrett Dayton and Raymond Marchante are going to be bowing for the lead up in the front, with Trevor Hoffa right on his tail in third place. So is Michael Clayton. And it looks like Garrett, Ron, and Trevor are all heading for the water. As number 1, who just went to rest for a while, wins the win toss for this week's main event, and number 7 is for the rest. Garrett Dayton trying his best to stay alive in the game, and he is taking a snooze as number 7 was Beavis number 2 in his race. And guess what, fans? Look who I saw over at the horizon on the top of the hill. It's Trevor Hoffa. He prevails with shortcut strategy. He now has command of the lead up at the front as number 2, who is spotting for dear life, takes the next command. Yes, Trevor Hoffa now has a dominating lead over Garrett Dayton and Raymond Marchante, who are battling for second place in the Common One, and we have passed the 1-minute mark for this week's main event. The fans are on their feet cheering on for those superstars in this week's main event. As Raymond Marchante will have the next command. Yes, he will have command of second place over Garrett Dayton. But Trevor Hoffa has a dominating effort at the top of the wall, and he is going to win this one for sure. Next PS belongs to number 8, and Michael Clayton passes for 1. So number 1 will have a little bit of catching up to do. Now Michael Clayton has to deal with number 7 and number 1 for dear life. Now Michael Clayton and number 1 7 are getting left behind in the competition. I do believe one of them might be able to get some help every now and then, and it's going to be Michael Clayton who will get the chance, who just went down for the count. And Trevor Hoffa back with fun has this race all left up, ladies and gentlemen. No one is going to catch up to Trevor in a hurry. As number 2 takes the next PS, trying to stay alive in the game. Trevor Hoffa dominates Garrett Dayton to win Week 9's main event presented by McDonald's. He is the new superstar of the week here on Chao Racing 2019. And Michael Clayton will get another turn. That makes his second speed boost of the race, but he went a little too far that time. That means number 1 wanted to push to battle him for the second time in this race. Garrett Dayton will come in second place, and Raymond Marchante will come in third. Trevor Hoffa will be back in 2 weeks for the next exciting main event, and this time Michael Clayton goes 1 consecutive. He will bind up in second place ahead of number 1. And that will do it for Week 9 here on Chao Racing 2019. So, Trevor Hoffa is the new superstar of the week. That's why I look forward to his next main event 2 weeks from now. And we're going to close our show in just a little bit, right after we hear a word from this. Alright fans, we're done for this week. We would like to pay a special thanks to David Hart, the 1987 World Champion, and his family for attending in the audience with us tonight. And thanks to everyone else who came to the races as well. Next week we will send some tag team action for the month of April as spring continues to bloom for the Chao Racing universe. Until then, this is Brad Giant signing off. Keep on smiling, hope your spring bloom is filled with Easter joy, and so long everybody! This is Paul Second More signing off. Enjoy the Easter weekend, and join us again for more exciting action on Chao Racing 2019. See you next week.